You know that line from The Godfather? Give me the bad news first.
Ah, yeah. Don Corleone.
Surprisingly good advice, actually. Because spotting problems early, well, it's not just about saving yourself a headache, is it?
No, not at all. It can genuinely be the difference between a quick fix and a total crisis. Saves
Right.
time, effort, money.
Huge amounts.
Mm.
So today we're doing a deep dive into exactly that. How embracing those early hiccups, especially in, say, Agile for product and service management,
Right, the agile approach.
how that really contrasts with the more traditional project management ways. And crucially, why this whole mindset shift is becoming even more vital now with AI starting to, well, change everything.
It's interesting, though, isn't it, that sort of human reaction? Sometimes we kind of want to avoid the bad news,
We do.
or at least delay hearing it. I mean, intellectually, we know we should deal with stuff, but the cultures we work in, they can build these psychological barriers.
Yeah, walls that stop people speaking up when they see something starting to go wrong.
Exactly.
You see it in those more traditional setups, right? The waterfall style, very hierarchical, often tied to project management.
Definitely.
There's sometimes this feeling, maybe from what you might call an overbearing leader type.
The expectation of control.
Yes, that everything must stick to the plan, perfectly controlled. So if a problem pops up,
Then it feels like a failure.
right, fear kicks in. Fear of looking, incompetent because you didn't predict it or stop it. It's like, uh-oh, that wasn't on the Gantt chart. What are they going to think?
That's spot on. And related to that, there's this other thing, the hero culture.
Ah, yes. The last-minute rescue.
Exactly. It's often subconscious, I think, but people can be drawn to that idea of swooping in and saving the day right at the end.
Hmm.
So dealing with a problem early, it feels, well, less dramatic, less heroic.
Even though it's way more effective, it's like waiting for the fire alarm instead of just changing the smoke detector battery.
Great analogy.
But these barriers, they're not just in our heads. They have real consequences. Putting off dealing with problems, it just makes them harder and more expensive to fix later.
Oh, absolutely. It multiplies, like that tiny leak in the ceiling you mentioned.
Yeah, catch it early, it's maybe a bucket and a quick patch.
Ignore it. And you're suddenly dealing with huge water damage, mold, massive bills.
Exactly. Cost and effort just shoot up.
And detecting things early gives you that breathing room, doesn't it? Time to actually look at the root cause, figure out the best fix, not just panic and react.
Okay, so let's think about that traditional waterfall approach again, the project management staple. The focus is so heavy on upfront planning, standards, predictability,
Yeah, getting it all defined at the start.
which in a way can make the whole system kind of resistant to acknowledging problems once things are underway. The mindset is almost, we planned this meticulously, it should just work.
And that desire for everything to look perfect according to the plan, that's where you get those infamous watermelon reports.
Ah, yes. Green on the outside.
But bright red on the inside. Looks like everything's fine, status is green, but underneath, it's chaos, problems are hidden.
Why hide them? Fear of scrutiny doesn't fit the plan.
Both, I think. People
It's
worry about being blamed, or maybe they think they can fix it quietly before anyone notices, but it often doesn't work out.
That just leads to what you called a failure spiral, right?
Yeah, all those hidden issues pile up. They create this technical debt, and that's not just chem, by the way.
Right. It can be any delayed problem.
Right.
Process debt, decision debt.
Exactly. Any issue you put off dealing with, it just festers, gets tangled up with other things, and becomes way harder and more expensive to sort out later.
And the cultural impact of always avoiding problems.
It's pretty corrosive. Employees start focusing more on, well, covering their backsides than on learning or actually fixing things.
Avoiding blame becomes the priority.
And leadership might end up in a kind of bubble, filtering out bad news because it clashes with the everything's fine narrative they want to project.
And the real-world consequences.
Yeah.
They can be incredibly serious. We saw that with the Boeing 737 MAX.
Such a tragic example. It really underscores what happens when a company culture pushes aside risk assessment and open communication, in favor of speed and cost savings.
Wasn't there talk that early warnings about the MCS software were, well, not given enough attention?
That's what investigations suggest. It seems concerns were downplayed, possibly because of the push to avoid costly pilot retraining and keep the certification process moving quickly.
A short-term focus with devastating long-term results. 346 lives lost. It's just
Yeah. A powerful reminder of why ignoring early warnings is so dangerous.
absolutely devastating.
Okay, so let's pivot. How does Agile, thinking about product and service management now, handle this differently?
Well, fundamentally, Agile is built on transparency
Yeah.
and empowering the teams doing the work.
So encouraging people to speak up.
Yes, encouraging them to raise concerns openly
Yep.
without that fear of blame or punishment hanging over them.
The whole fail fast idea comes into play here, doesn't it? It's central. Agile has these built-in feedback loops, think daily stand-ups, retrospectives, delivering working software or service increments frequently.
Lots of checkpoints.
Exactly. All designed to provide regular chances to spot issues early. It makes finding and fixing problems just a normal part of the process.
Not a crisis.
Not a crisis, just part of how you build something good.
And that requires, what's the term? Psychological safety.
That's the key ingredient. Creating an environment where people feel safe enough to say, hey, I made a mistake, or I'm worried about this, or I have an idea, but it might sound crazy.
It's not about zero accountability, though, right?
Oh, definitely not. Accountability is still crucial, but it's about shifting the focus from blame to learning, believing that if you speak up, it will lead to constructive action, not punishment.
And the payoff for that kind of openness.
It's huge, but you need that psychological safety first. Interestingly, when organizations start moving this way, you sometimes see a sudden spike in reported problems.
Which might look bad initially.
Could seem alarming, but it's usually a good sign. It means the issues that were always there but hidden are finally surfacing. Now you can actually deal with them.
Like opening the floodgates, but in a positive way.
Sort of, yeah. It sets the stage for real improvement.
You know, it makes me think of Toyota and their andon cord.
Ah, the classic example.
Any worker on the line can pull that cord and stop everything if they see a problem.
And that immediate action, based on the person right there seeing the issue, is valued more than waiting for layers of management approval. It's powerful stuff.
It really is. That culture values stopping to fix things immediately.
And that proactive stance, it naturally leads to a culture of continuous improvement. Think about Netflix and their Chaos Monkey, way back when.
Right, deliberately breaking things.
Exactly. Deliberately introducing failures to test how resilient their systems were. That's proactively looking for weaknesses.
That whole way of thinking evolved into SRE, right? Service Reliability Engineering.
It did. A whole discipline focused on building and maintaining robust, dependable systems by anticipating and handling failure.
It all comes back to that mindset of continuous learning, Kaizen, as it's often called in Agile.
Yep. Actively seeking out problems isn't negative. It's seen as essential for making products and services better. You want the real picture, warts and all, so you know where to improve.
Okay, so if this is the direction things are heading,
Oh.
how does AI fit into this picture of finding problems early?
AI can be a massive accelerator here. Its strength is finding patterns and anomalies in huge data sets, things humans might easily miss.
So spotting trouble brewing in software logs or financial data or manufacturing processes.
Or even shifts in customer behavior online, yeah. AI can flag those deviations early, giving you a heads up.
Predictive analysis too, I guess.
Maybe.
Like predicting when a machine needs maintenance before it breaks.
Exactly, or forecasting customer churn, flagging security threats. The potential is enormous. You could imagine AI-powered dashboards acting almost like a digital andon cord.
Providing those real-time alerts.
Yeah, but, and this is a big AI should be a tool to support human judgment, not replace it.
Right. We still need people making the calls.
Absolutely. And crucially, the culture has to be ready for it. If you have the fanciest AI system flagging potential issues, but the culture still punishes people for bad news.
Then the AI alerts get ignored or explained away.
Precisely. The technology is only as good as the culture it operates within. You need that foundation of openness and trust first.
It's like having a smoke detector that people are afraid to let ring.
Good way to put it. I've actually heard of some companies that actively give rewards or recognition to employees who surface potential problems.
Really, to encourage reporting.
Yeah, to reinforce that finding issues early is valuable behavior.
So if an organization wants to foster this culture, what are the practical steps?
Well, first, consciously create that safe space. Make it clear transparency is valued, not punished.
Okay, what else?
Establish genuinely blameless retrospectives or postmortems. Focus relentlessly on what happened and how can we prevent it, not whose fault was it.
And make sure those discussions lead somewhere.
Critically important, they have to result in concrete action plans. And then you need to follow through on those actions.
Builds trust, right? Seeing that speaking up leads to actual change.
Exactly. And maybe even, celebrate finding the problem, not just fixing it. Acknowledge the person who raised the flag.
That's a good point. What about measuring progress?
Metrics can help.
Mhm.
Things like time to detect issues, time to resolve, maybe track the frequency of incidents or how often you hold retrospectives. It shows focus.
And finally,
Encourage small experiments, low-risk ways to try things out. It builds that muscle of learning, curiosity, and not being afraid to find out something doesn't work perfectly the first time.
so wrapping this up, embracing early problem discovery, it sounds like it's not just about efficiency. It can genuinely lead to a better workplace, better products, maybe even save lives in some cases.
The benefits can be profound, yes.
So maybe something for you, the listener, to think about. How does your own company culture handle finding problems early? Is it encouraged? Discouraged?
Hmm. And if it's not really encouraged, what impact could shifting towards more openness have? On the problems you face, on customer satisfaction?
Or if your culture is good at this, what benefits are you already seeing worth reflecting on?
Definitely. And look, if you want to dig into these ideas more, especially around building that psychological safety we talked about,
Yeah,
we really encourage you to check out the links in the description. They'll take you to the source video that inspired this whole deep dive and probably some other useful resources too.
great suggestion. Definitely
Yeah.
worth exploring further.